So yeah, welcome everybody. Now we are in JavaScript time. So let's create a new file and write my name uase.js. You understand? JS is for JavaScript. I told you need to specify the type of file you want to have in there. JS. But before you start writing JavaScript, I told you every file that is going to be displayed there is HTML. So every other file you are going to be doing, you have to connect it to HTML. So you come to HTML to connect this JavaScript to it, but you go to the end of every div. Understand? End of everything. Now before the body, you write it here, script. Come script src here. Then this src, now you now write the src there, us.javascript. You see VS Code is suggesting because it always suggests. So now you have add it to your HTML. Now you can go back there and write your code. But before you start writing code here, there is what we call variables. We declare variable by let and const. You understand? So, but I will advise you not to be using var for some reasons. Do you understand? Which I will explain deeper in the course. Because var will give you a lot of headaches. So don't use var. It's like an outdated it's an outdated way of declaring variables. You get? So I will advise you use, because var and let is actually the same functions, but let is more of like good. I'll explain better to you in the course the differences between var and let, because I have a let's note and everything on it. You get? So now I'll advise you guys to use let and const, because yeah, this one is different, but let and var is actually the same thing. You understand? So declare using let, because this is the modern way. Var is outdated. Let and const are two different way of declaring variable. Declaring it with let now shows that you still want to work on the variable later, not the value that the variable is coming with you want to use directly. The value you are going to declare this variable as now, you still want to work on it later. Like now, I declare let now to be, okay, let usti be equal to 1. And I write const us should be equal to 2. Always remember to put your column, semicolon. So now, and I come back here and I write usti should now be equal to plus 1. Do you get? Usti should be equal to usti plus 1, or just like usti should be equal to plus 1. You understand? And let us be equal to plus 1 also, plus, or just plus 2. You get? These two code now will have issues. Do you know why? Because this let, you see the color self is different. This let now, I told you it is still flexible, but this const is static. You can't change this again. Let is dynamic, this one is static. You can't change this one again. I should use this 2. Anywhere you want to use this us variable, you are using 2. You can't change it to any other thing again. So this us plus 2 will not work. It won't run until you change this one from const to let. That const, make sure is telling us that is a constant variable. You are not changing it. And what are variables? Before you use an item inside JavaScript, you need to declare it that, okay, with JavaScript, I'm letting you know that this item is this. So anytime I said usti, you should know I'm talking about 1 in this code. Anytime I talk about is, you should know that I'm talking about 2. That's just it. You need to declare that this is what I want to use in this code. I want to use this thing. So anytime I call on it, know that this is what I'm talking about. Do you get? But before you start working on JavaScript, what do you work on JavaScript on? You work on items that you write on HTML. You would like to add functionality to those items you write on HTML. Isn't it true? So the first thing you need to do is go to your HTML and bring in what you want to work on. Bring it to JavaScript. Bring the item, the particular item you want to work on there. And there are 2 ways I'll show you now They are not all only the ways to bring items into JavaScript, but I'll show you two ways, which is what? Document, that is, you want to get a document, but you want to get this document by what? Query selector. There's what called query selector. You see, there's query selector here. Understand? You just because it's a function, so you have to put that two brackets. Then you put column inside because you want to insert a variable inside. Do you get? So now you close it with a semicolon. So now you can write another one again. Document. You want to get a document, but this one you want to get this document by get element by ID. This document you want to get now, you want to get it by the ID of that element. You understand? You want to get it by the ID being given to that element. These are another different way of getting something. And again, sorry. And this, again, you can get document again dot query selector select all. This select all now, what does it mean? It means that that class you want to get now, or that document you want to get, I want to get a div now. So this select all is going to select all the items with the div tag. If I put in a class, and it's going to select all the items inside that class. But once I just use this select now, that means it's only one item that is there. There is no plenty items. So I just want you to get that one item for me. Just this get element by ID. I told you we use ID to is a unique identifier, the one you use to identify that particular element. So once you come to HTML here now, you see that we have a class of primary 3 now. So I want to add functionality to all the class in primary 3, or all the class in primary 3 now. I'll use the all here and put dot primary 3. This will get that every item inside the primary 3 class and bring it here to be given functionality. Anything you declare on that functionality, it will refer back to that all item in primary 3 and give the functionality to all the items inside primary 3. But what if you come to this place and it's only one item you just want to get? Just want to get this p tag. This p tag is only one, yeah? It's only one p tag. I just want to get that p tag. You can just come here, come into the JS and just put the p tag inside there. It's not a class, it's just a tag. So you just put it there. If it's a class, you have to put dot. But if it's not a class, you just write it there. You understand? So this will just only add functionality to what? The p tag. Anything inside that p tag, anything you enclose inside the opening and the closing tag inside there of the p tag, this will add that functionality to it. You understand? Get element by ID now. You come here, you see that I gave a unique identifier to this item 1 just now. I want to add functionality to this item 1. What is inside item 1 is just, you see, let me make it like this so that you'll be seeing that, okay, what is inside is one showing white. You get? See this item 1. This is only what is inside. This is only what is going to come out of all this English I wrote here. This is only what is going to come out. This item 1. So now I want to add functionality. Maybe I want this item 1 now to be writing one after the other. I want, if it comes, you write ITEMA1. You get all those things. And other functions to it. You can just come to JS and just be like, I want to get that element item 1 only. I want to get only that one. But what if we have got all these things? Like, how do we work on them? How do we use them? You have not declared them here now. You only brought them here. You have not declared them. So you have to declare them to JavaScript that, okay, I want to be calling this new item. I want to give it a naming ceremony here now. And I'll just come here because this item that is coming from there, I don't need to change them. It's a direct item that I give on HTML. It's a direct something that I give on HTML there. So I don't need to change them. So I just use constant. Then I want to give it a naming ceremony. Let me just give this one, okay, P element. I just used to write the same thing and just write element. That's me, just easy for me, but you can give it any name you want. So anytime I call on P element now, that means all the items inside this P tag is what I'm calling on. Now the P element, you said you come on and collect its functionality that I want to give to it. But anything I come to this place now, it will be like const. Come in. Const and item1 element should be equal to document.getElementById. I've got this element by ID now, but I've saved it inside item1 element. So anytime I call on item1 element, every items on that tag that has that ID will come on. You understand? Any functionality I add will be given to those items, because I've given them naming ceremony here now, that okay, oh, this is what I'll be calling people inside this place. So this is not HTML, or this is JavaScript. So I've given you guys another name. This is what I'll be calling people. Oh, you understand? That's just it. This one I'll be like, hey, Mr. Man, you now that you come into this place now, I want to be calling you primary 3 element. I'm not calling you that your name again. This is what I'll be calling you here. If I call you, you answer. So that's just it. But first of all, what functionality, after you have called them here, what functionality do you want to add to them? You have to think of it. You understand? You have to think of it. Let's say inside this HTML now, inside this p tag, inside this p tag, I actually have a button here. I have a button inside this p tag. Let's create a button element. You understand? I have a button. This will create a button, yeah? Okay, I have a button inside this p tag now. So when I call on this p tag, let me say the button Control X, the button will be displaying this. Sorry, Control Z. Okay, it's too much. Let's just write like YouTube. Let's just write like it's displaying YouTube. You understand? Let's just be like the button is displaying what? YouTube. So this button now will be displaying YouTube. Now, this p tag that I get here now, I want to add functionality to that button. I want, if I click on the button, it should do something. But what do you want to do first? You want the functionality you want to add now. You want it to like take effect once when you click. When you click on what? When you click on something. Or I want it to add functionality now. I want to add a functionality to the whole body itself. I want to bring in the whole body to this place, the whole body of the page. I want to bring in here. I want to bring in that whole body. And if I bring it here, I want to start calling that whole body element. You get? I want to bring the whole body of the page. Document dot query selector. Just put it in the body. It's not a class, it's nothing, so you just put your body there. So I want to add a functionality to this place now, to the whole body. I want, okay, if I just bring mouse into the body now, something should start happening. Do you get? I want, if I click on this button now, something should happen. Or if I bring mouse here now, something should happen. Do you get? That means there is an event you want to pull up before anything happen in JavaScript. There's an event you want to come on before anything will happen. Yeah. So that's what event do you want? Before you know, you have to add event listener to the particular thing you want the event to be on, the plate you want the event to be on. I want the event to happen on the body. You have to add the event listener to that body, so that when the event happen, he knows that it's sensitive something. Like you have to make it sensitive. So when that event happen, it don't happen. No, now waiting they talk. So if it happen, okay, sorry, this is what they said. They actually said if it happen, I should do this. You understand? I was actually told that, okay, if this thing happen, I should bring in this particular function. I should call on this function. I should do this function here. So that's first thing you need to do. You have to add event listener to that particular item. Oh, this button you create now, you want, if you click on the button or if you just move mouse on the button, a particular function should happen. You understand? So first thing you need to do, you add event listener to that particular. What is the item now? I call this one p element here. Dot. I want to add event listener to you, Mr. Man. Event listener is a function. I told you every function will come with this closing two things. You understand? And the function, if it's a function that is going to have not just like you are naming the function. It's not that you are just naming that function like how you name a function here and just put it here. It's a function that needs to be done. there are other things you need to put here. You understand? First of all, what do you want the functions to do? You want it to like listing this add event listing, and you want it to listing to click is a variable, so you have to put it inside to quote click. Now comma, what do you want it to do? It has to be in another open something. I told you it's a function, so this has to signify the function. And what do you want it to do again? For it to be a function that has what you want it to do, not just a naming function, not just a function you name and keep there. You understand? You want it to do something for you. You have to put these two stuffs equal to and something like a greater than sign to be pointing that okay, oh, that is what I want you to do, and what you want it to do has to be in these two parentheses. You get? So now this event listener, what did you want it to listen to? You said PEL. Now PEL, which is the button. I put button there just now. Button, I want you to listen to click. Okay, sir. If I listen to click, what should I do? Oh, they have clicked me. Oh, button will not be like, yeah, they have clicked me. Oh, sir, they have clicked me. Oh, what should I do now? So you have to give it a function that anytime they click you, do this thing. That's where function comes in. You be like, just name it. Let me say function now. I name it do me, and I name it the function. I told you every function. Sorry, there is like, okay, let me say YouTube. You understand? Let me say YouTube. I want anytime they click on you, do this function YouTube. You said okay. What is that function now? You have to define the function too. In JavaScript, you have to define the function. So you have to come down here and be like function YouTube. Give these two things to say is a function, and put this one here to like write what you want the function to do. You understand? To write what you want the function to do. Now, you said it should do this function. What do you want it to do in that function? What do you want it actually to do? This is where you come to define it. Oh, I want you to do this one. Oh, I want you to, like, if they call on you like this now, start changing the color of the background. Start changing the color of the background. First of all, what do you want me to change the color of the background? I want you to change it to red, green, blue, yellow, white, this one, that one. Do you understand? Okay. This function now will be like, okay, we'll add the functionality, but wait, before I add the functionality, where should I get the color from? That's where an array comes in. Array is where we store our items. So first of all, you have to create an array. Here, let me just create an array. Array is created with these two things. You understand? And I'll just be like, okay, let me have like a red color inside. You understand? Inside that array. Blue color inside the array. You understand? Green color, sorry, I told you is a string, so it has to be having those two double quotes. Put comma to differentiate it from the other one. Let me say I want to have a pink color inside this array again. As a string, it has to be inside this. Sorry, that's not pink. Good. Let me just say I need 5 colors here. So I want the next one to be white or black. You understand? Let's put inside a string and just be like, okay, I want it to be black. Understand? So now I've created an array here now, but I have to store the array again to give it a naming ceremony. So anytime I call it, he knows that okay, I'm calling on you. You understand? So I just have to come here because I will not want to change anything in this array later. I'll use const. Let me just name it colors and be equal to. Now I've given it a naming ceremony. Anytime I call colors now, I'm calling on these people that is here now. Do you get? Okay, now this function, what I want you to do for me now, I want you to change this one here. What do you want to do? Which I'll call it, who do you want me to change it on? I want you to change it on the P element. Or I want anytime they click on the button, I want you to change it on the body element. I want the body element to be changing. Body element dot. What do you want to change? Is the styling. The styling color is part of style. That's CSS. You want it to change the color, the styling, the CSS, you want it to change it. I give it a different style in CSS, but you want to change the style in JavaScript right now. So you just be like style. Be careful with the the casing dot background color. I think you see it listed here, background color. I want the background color to change to what? Equal to, I want it to change to these colors. But if you want it to change to this color now, if it goes to that color now, it will be confused because there are a lot of colors there. Which one do you want me to change to actually? So you have to tell it that I want it to start from 0. Or you can just be like, okay, in the array, I want you to change to, you know, array, this is the one we use in donating arrays, you get. So arrays now, I want you to change it to arrays start from 0. Like the red now, we call it 0, blue we call it 1, green we call it 2, pink we call it 3, and black we call it 4. It starts from 0 in counting. So you can just be like, I want you to change to 0 color when I call you. So when you click on it now, it will change to 0 color on that array. Oh, my system is low, so I will fast up right now. I don't like using my system when I'm plugging it, so I want to, like, you know, finish then plug my system. Then go to 4 now. I want you to change to black when I click on it. You understand? So that's what it is. But I want it to start from 0 and be counting on its own. When I click on it, it should be changing. Then I will need to declare another constant here, that function. I will need to declare it here. But if I'm declaring it now because I want it to change later, I will not use const. I'll use let to declare this one now. Change color should be equal to 0. That means it should start from 0. Then here, instead of me to impute this thing now, I'll be like change colors. Yes, I want it to change color now. So when it will this change color now, if I click on it now, it will change to red. But if you change to red, it will stop. So I'll need to name it and I'm like, I want the change color to be increasing. That's the reason for this plus. You understand? I want this change color to be increasing. Like if I click on it now, if I not put this, if I click on it now, you want change color. But what did you say the change color to? Is to 0. So, but I want after this 0, it should increase to the next number. So I write this plus here. It should increase. If it's decrease, I could write 4 here now. I could write 4 here. It will give black when I click on it, Abi. But I want it to be decreasing. It should be going back. Minus. You understand? So this one I will make anytime I click on this PEL, it will listen to this function YouTube. And this function YouTube is to change the background color of the body element. You see how we use JavaScript to add functionality to things. What if I want this thing to be changing on its own? I don't want it to be on click. Then I will just clean this event listener. Bros, I don't need you. I want this function to happen. But sorry, you need to call on the function out before it will work. You understand? You need to call on the function. So you call it outside YouTube. So you call on the function YouTube. So that, yeah, it will work. Then now you set interval. Now you call the function on the interval, because that's what you need to, that's what you want to set interval on. Comma, how many seconds? I want you, this interval works on milliseconds, and 1000 milliseconds is 1 second. So I want every 1 second or every 2 seconds 2000 milliseconds. Every 2 seconds I want you to be changing color. This one, and once you just refresh the page, every 2 seconds it will be changing color on its own. You don't need to click. That's why I cancel the click me here, because I don't need it any longer. This one, I want you just change it to just go and start from black and start changing backward. So this is JavaScript for you. It is used to add functionalities to the HTML document. It's used to add functionalities to it, as CSS is used to style it. So now we are done with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I mean, we are not deep on it because that's not the purpose here. The purpose is just like an overview of what it is actually, the practical on what it is. So join the class if you want more of knowing what HTML and CSS and JavaScript is, because on the class we are going to work on 30 different projects, and we are going to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to work on 30 different projects, so that different aspects of all these programming languages, you can learn them. You will learn different aspects on practicals. So I'll urge you and advise, if you are convinced enough, join the WhatsApp group, and from there you get to register on the class, and we'll start the class on the right channel, and you get to enjoy the benefits that comes with the class and become a front-end developer. Thank you. The next video I'll be briefing you again on React, and the next one will be on Git and GitHub. Thank you for now.